Hi, I'm John Campbell, and this week we are reviewing the latest updates from the Alexa Live conference, which was last week. So lots of new features for us as developers to build for Alexa skills. So the second thing we're looking at is Alexa conversations. So users won't see much of a difference here, but it's all about what's happening on the back end for us as developers. So this is going to make it a lot easier for us to handle multiple turn conversations. So a really good example of this is a skill that we've built in the past, which was product registration. So we had to get 4 pieces of information from the user to register their product: what the product was, when did they buy it, how much did it cost, and what brand. And so for our skill, we had to make sure that we were tracking the different states that the user would go through as they registered a product. Did they give us all the information required? If they didn't give us all the information straight away, how would we get them to prompt them to give us that last piece of information? What happens if they wanted to correct something? And what happens if later on in the conversation they would then go, well, I bought 2 of them. So this is the exact kind of scenario where Alexa Conversations is going to be able to help us. So what happens is that you basically feed the system some sample utterances. You'll tell it all the different slots types that are going to be in the conversation, and then Alexa is going to be using machine learning then to kind of train and work out a model, and then that will handle those 4 scenarios for you automatically. So it will handle the state management for you, handle the dialogue variations, handle what happens if a user gives a correction on a piece of information they've given, and then it will also allow you to carry over context. So when the user refers back to something, you'll be able to understand what they're referring to. And so in the example that they gave us during the conference, a skill that maybe had 3, 4, 5,000 lines of code can now be hugely condensed, and a lot of the processing and a lot of the hard work that we've done in the past to build skills like this is going to be dealt with by Amazon themselves. So it's really interesting piece of technology. From the user, it's not going to be seen too much difference when they're using Alexa skills, but what hopefully this will mean is that us as skill builders will be able to build more skills that will handle those more complicated conversations, and the user will have a much greater experience and will have a lower level of errors when they're using that skill. So Alexa Conversations is live in the US now. In the notes it says that they expect this to be coming out in the UK later this year, but there isn't a competition that's going on starting now, so that's something that we're going to be participating in, so therefore we'll be able to get our hands into some of the code, see how it's working, and really test this out. So hopefully that's giving you a little bit of information about Alexa Conversations, and tomorrow we're going to have a video where we'll be looking at a new feature which allows people to open Alexa skills without saying the invocation phrase.